Welcome everyone, welcome outstanding children to another exciting ICT plugged activity class. In this class today, we will be looking at variables with the B. In our previous lessons, we have been looking at variables. So in this class, we will look at how we can program variables with the B. In this class, we'll be looking at the meaning of variables, the counter variable block, and also we will also look at the change counter variable block. These blocks will help us in programming the B. Variables, as we all know, is a placeholder where piece of information can be kept. It's a placeholder for a piece of information. Variables can also be seen as a file that we can store in informations. Now, variables can be changed, unlike constants, which we talked about, that cannot be changed. Now, how can we solve this if we have a bee that is trying to collect both honey and nectars? I remember we said that nectars are sweet fragrance or sweet substance that comes out of a flower. We need a set counter block. The set counter blocks helps to count the number of items or value a sprite can count at a particular time. The set counter block also works with the change counter block. This helps if the variable wants to count from 1 to other numbers. Now, this will help us to program with the B. We will look at this in our practical class. Okay, this is code.org. We are looking at variables with the B. Now, in this first one, it says collect all honeys and make all the nectars. Now, as you can see in the play area, we have both nectars and honey. So for us to be able to do this, first of all, we need to apply loop, because it's only with loop that we can be able to collect all of these items. So the next thing we are going to do is we are going to identify how many times we are going to repeat. This has 4 different sides to turn, which is the first side, the second side, and the third side. So I'm going to change it to theory. I'm going to change it to theory. Okay, so now it means that we are looping 3 times. So what are we looping? I'm going to carry move forward, the move forward block, get nectar. We're going to get nectar, move forward again, and make honey. Now, after doing that, we're going to turn left or right. Yes, we're going to turn left. So I'm going to carry the turn left block also and attach. So that's it. Move forward, get nectar, move forward, make honey. Let's see what we have done so far. Yeah, so you see, that's how we do that for the first level. Let's move to the next level. Okay, this is the second one, and it says finish this code so that the bee can collect all of the honeys and nectars. First of all, we told you about the counter block. This counter block helps the bee to count how many times to collect an item, just as we have said before, the counter block. So like we've seen, we are counting in 2s. Why? Because the nectar and the honey, they are in 2. If we can look at it, we are seeing 2 honey and 2 nectar. So that's why we are counting in 2. So you don't need to put how many times a nectar is going, the bee is going to collect the nectar. Why? Because you already have a counter block. So what we are going to do, we are going to be using variables. Just like we said, it's a placeholder for a piece of information. So because we already have the set counter block as a variable, we will repeat counter. That is where we are going to put. So we're just going to be putting the counter in the repeat block. Why? Because we have already set the variable, which is the counter, to 2. So this is just what we did. We repeated counter in the variable. Yes, you see, as easy as that. Let's move to the next one. Okay, this one says change the starting value of the variable so that the bee can collect all of the honey and nectar. They've already arranged this for us. What they just want us to do, they say we should change the value of the counter. Just like as we can see, the counter is 2 here, but how many honey and how many nectars are we to collect? 3. Yes. So we're going to change the counter from 2 to 3. So I'm removing 2 and putting 3 because we're counting in 3s this time, not in 2s. See, just as I've said it, change it from 2 to 3 because of the variable that is already there, which is the counter. We'll take this last one to conclude this class. Okay, this one says that in this puzzle that we should get more nectars. Now if we can see, the first nectar and honey we have has 1 nectar each, but the second and the third one has 2 nectars and 3 nectars. So now we have to introduce what is called the change counter block, which is this one I have here. I will just bring it and put it at the bottom. Why? Because we are changing from 1 to 2. So it's starting from 1, which is counting for 1. Then it will change counter from 1. It will add another 1 to it, making it 2. And when it gets to 3, it will add another 1, making it what? 3. Let's click on run and see what we have done. Yes, that is how we end this class. We'll continue the rest in our ICT class. See you next class.